everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So it is full swing holiday season. It's currently mid-December when I'm recording this. So I have been on a Christmas holiday book themed reading kick. So I figured that I would show you guys my favorites and my recommendations for Christmas vibey books. We have Comfy Blanket with an Addy for today's recording, so that's the vibe. I have about 9 or 10 books. I don't remember exactly. It's a fair mix between like physical books and a lot of books that you can get on Kindle. So most of these, if you have Kindle Unlimited and they seem interesting to you, you should be able to go ahead and read right from Kindle Unlimited. Starting off with two that I have physical books that I don't believe are available on Kindle Unlimited is Kiss It Once for Me by Alison Cockrum. This is a fairly new release. I got this with my book of the month. This is an LGBTQIA+ representation book for Christmas holiday. So if you want a holiday book that has more of the LGBTQ themes in it, I definitely suggest this one. It does have a little bit of like a miscommunication trope going on with it. Our main character's name is Ellie. She is an aspiring artist, specifically like an animator. She wants to get a job like animating for movies and whatnot, and she randomly bumps into this girl, Jack, in a bookstore, and they just immediately hit it off and just spend this entire day together. They connect on a way they've never connected with anybody ever. They're like sharing their deepest secrets, and like they really think, especially Elle thinks that she's met her person and they're gonna end up together. And then it jumps to the present where they're not together, and she is losing her job and financially unstable, and she ends up fake dating her boss for money, to then later figure out that her boss's sister is the girl that she had this one night stand with a year ago. So, fake dating, second chance romance, also kind of like a love triangle, but like a love, what is four? A love quadrant? I don't know math, is that the correct term? A couple both have another love interest that, yeah, so it's a little bit messy, it's a little bit miscommunication-y, but it has good LGBTQ representation, and overall I thought it was like a really good storyline. I'm a big fan of fake dating, and I'm a big fan of LGBTQ books, and I thought that this was really unique. I don't think I've ever read a fake dating where like the fake dating didn't end up to them being together, so I thought that that was really unique. But I definitely recommend that if this seems like something you'd be interested in. And then for another physical book that I have that isn't on Kindle is The Holiday Spot by Maggie Knox. I read this last year at Christmas. So this is two twins. One lives in LA and is like a big time actress. The other one lives in a small town and is a baker. The actress sister gets injured on her show and can't film, and if she can't film, then somebody else is going to get promoted over her. So she calls up her sister and is like, hey, let's do the classic twin sister swap. You come act for me so I don't lose my promotion offer, and I'll come home and run your bakery. And they were like, yeah, sure, whatever, let's do it. Where they both end up falling in love with a man that's not from their place. So LA sister falls in love with hometown boy, hometown sister falls in love with LA guy. Christmas twin swap, very like the Parent Trap-y, but like no parents? Parent Trap, no parents? I feel like my teeth look really weird. Is it this lipstick? I feel like, do they look blue? Post editing Allie, do my teeth look like weirdly a color? I feel like, anyways. Parent Trap, no parents, sisters. Small town romance. It's fairly short. It's one of the shorter books that I'll recommend. So it's not necessarily the biggest in like character development and everything, but it is still just a really cute Christmas read. So then over on to the Kindle area. These first three I read last month. So if you want to know more in depth about them, I will tag my reading wrap up of last month because I want a little bit more into depth about them in that. I think this is the only Kindle book that I bought that's not on Kindle Unlimited, and that is A Very Merry Bromance. This is part of the Bromance book club series. I read the first book to it about a month or so ago. This was Christmas themed and fit into the season, so I read this one next. So the overarching theme of this whole series, it's a companion novel series, but this one specifically follows Colton. He is a country music singer, and he has a one-night stand after a wedding with this girl Gretchen, and he just immediately thinks that she is the person for him, and she's like, whoa, hold up, I don't think so. And so basically it flash forwards to a year later. They haven't seen each other since. Gretchen is a lawyer and works for like her family's $1 million company, and her family wants to sign Colton into their company to be the face of their new whiskey brand. So they tell Gretchen that she has to go find Colton and convince him to be part of their little thing, representation, influencer type stuff. So she goes to see him after not seeing him in a year. It's very grumpy sunshine. She's bah humbug, I hate Christmas. And he's like, I love Christmas. I eat, sleep, breathe Christmas. I'm gonna make you fall in love with me and Christmas. And that's the book. The overarching theme of the whole Bromance book club series is all of the men are in a club with all their other guy friends, and they read romance stories, and they use those romance stories to fix whatever love life issues they're currently having. Like if their dating life sucks, if their wife wants to leave them, their girlfriend is unhappy, like they read some sort of book that relates to the problems they're having, and they use those books to solve their problems. So of course he's reading a book about how to make this I hate everything girl fall in love with him. So it's really cute. If you've read that series and you haven't read this book, I definitely think you'll enjoy it. If you want to get into the series, this is a good place to start given the Christmas season. So from here on out, everything that I'm talking about is available on Kindle Unlimited. So if there's anything you want to go read right away, hop right to it. And so the next book, again, that I mentioned last month is Lovelight Farms. This is first book, I believe, in the Lovelight trilogy. I read the second one randomly like 6 months ago. I didn't even realize that it was a series, and then I came across this one for Christmas season. So this follows our main character, Stella. She bought this Christmas tree farm. She loves Christmas, and she thought it would be really fun and cute, but it's not financially doing as well as she thought it would be. So she basically applies to this contest of this Instagram travel influencer who's like big on, oh, here's the hottest place in this area. So she applies to this contest because she's like, if I win, this will get me a lot of exposure and new customers. Like this could really bring us out of this financial slump. And she ends up winning this contest, which she's super excited about. But there's also a hitch. When she applied to this contest, she said that she bought this tree farm with her boyfriend as a way to like fuel their romance, and like she made it really romance and boyfriend centered because she thought that like that aspect would make her win, and she was right. But she doesn't have a boyfriend. She didn't buy this with a boyfriend. She bought this on her own terms. She now needs to find a boyfriend to act like is in love with her and bought this farm with her in like a week, so that she doesn't lose out on this contest opportunity. So she ends up fake dating her best friend, who has always secretly been in love with her, and she's always secretly been in love with him. And that's the vibe. Another fake dating Christmas. Is got good smut. I love the boy main character. He's great. And again, it's a good opening to a companion novel series if you want another one of those. Christmas opening to a companion novel. So it fits really well. So the next is actually one of my favorites. It's a fairly short book, but I enjoyed it so much, and that is 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth. This book it did something for me. Like, I'll explain. So our main character, Abby, has been in this like 3-year-long relationship with her boyfriend, Richard, who is a lawyer. And it's not a healthy relationship, unbeknownst to her, because when you're in it, you don't know. Richard is very like, she is his assistant, like, oh, go pick up my shampoo for me, schedule these appointments for me. And he never like posts her. He's almost like embarrassed to be with her. He doesn't bring her to any company parties. So she finally gets invited to the company Halloween party. So she makes a really cute like Playboy bunny costume to wear to this first company party that she was invited to. And it's a Halloween party. Why wouldn't it be a costume party? He picks her up and he gets mad that she's in costume because he's like, I'm a lawyer, we don't wear costumes. So then he breaks up with her because he's like, you are not professional enough for me, a lawyer, to be dating you, not a lawyer, little bunny suit girl. So of course she's upset. She calls over her friends, they drink wine, they eat cake, they watch movies, they get drunk, and they decide to get revenge on her ex by sleeping with her ex's boss. Because her ex Richard is up for a promotion at work. So they decide that if she sleeps with his boss, that might at least make him jealous, maybe mess up his promotion. So she matches with her ex's boss on a dating site and goes out with him, and it goes from there. So it's kind of fake dating, not really, like kind of fake dating on her end, but maybe not on his end. Damien, the boss, I love him. This is also very much a smut book, but it's smut with plot, which I say every time is the best thing on the planet. I love smut with plot. This book just hit for me. I thought it was a really unique storyline for a Christmas book, and I thought it brought a lot to a table, and it was fun, and it made me laugh, and it had good smut and good romance, and yeah, I felt for the characters. It's short, it's sweet, it's simple, it's to the point, and I loved it. I definitely suggest it if it seems like something that you'd be into. So then, another intro into a series. I haven't actually read the rest of the companion novel series. I've been wanting to, and so even for me, this was a really good opener to it. I read Christmas in Quincy by Deveny Perry. Deveny? D-E-V-N-E-Y, Deveny, that's how I would say it. But this is for the Eden series. This is the prologue for the Eden series. That's like a 4 or 5 book companion novel series that I want to start reading. I haven't yet. But this is like more of a novella, so it's very short. It's only like 200 or so pages, so it's not the most in-depth character and romance-wise. But it's Christmas bodyguard romance, which I couldn't ask for more. Bodyguard romance is one of my favorite tropes. Follows our main character, Cleo Hillcrest. She is a daughter to this multi-millionaire man. Her mother was unfortunately murdered as a young child, so her father takes security really seriously, and even though that she's like a full-grown adult, he has security people that literally follow her everywhere, and she doesn't want to spend another Christmas as a corporate Christmas. She's used to going to the corporate parties and yada yada. She doesn't want to do that this year, so she tells her dad that she's going away, and she goes out Quincy, Montana, to this cute little kind of storybook Christmas town to spend Christmas out there. And unbeknownst to her, her father sends the security team out there to basically spy on her and make sure that she's safe. So one day when she's walking around, she runs into Austin, who is the head of her dad's security team. It's very much a boy falls first, grumpy sunshine. Austin is madly in love with her, but doesn't want to be around her because he doesn't want her to know that she's in love with her. All that jazz. Very angsty. Good smut. It's a great intro, Christmas intro to another companion novel series. Check it out if you haven't. So then next is Baggage Claim by Juliana Smith. So this follows Olive Moore. She is avoiding her hometown. She hasn't been back there in like 3 years. Her hometown is in Colorado. She's currently living in Florida. She finally decides to go back to her hometown one year for Christmas, and she tells a white lie to her family that she is coming back with her boyfriend, because there's this weird family vibe, and you don't really know what it's about until the end of the book, but you know that there's some weird history between her and her sister. The whole book, there's just this weird vibe, and it all revolves around her appearance, what she looks like, how much she weighs, if she's in a relationship or not. It's just a lot of awkwardness. And so she tells this white lie to her family that she's coming home with her boyfriend, which she does not have. Conveniently, on the plane to Colorado, she is seated next to this super hot, funky, fresh guy named Finn Beckett. I love him, and they hit it off on the plane. They get plane drunk together and watch Harry Potter, and it's also another bah humbug, I hate Christmas, but no, I love it. Olive hates Christmas. Beckett, he eats, sleeps, breathes Christmas. So again, it's I'm gonna make you fall in love with Christmas and me. Snow cabin vibes, skiing, sledding, all of that. It gives like the To All the Boys I Loved Before snowboarding trip. That's the vibes of this book. So if you liked that movie, I think you'll like this book. It was really good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. It basically, Finn and her start fake dating. He pretends to be her boyfriend and meets her family, and he tells Olive that he's gonna make her love Christmas again, so he plans all these really cute Christmas dates and hangs out with their family. And through this whole thing, as they're falling in love, it's also what is this underlying issue between her and the rest of their family, and when is it gonna explode? What trouble is it gonna cause? All that jazz. It's really, really good, and I highly suggest you read it. So then next is Faking Under the Mistletoe by Ashley Shepard. So this is another fake dating, but this is workplace romance fake dating. So Olivia is an intern at a publishing company, and she also works part-time at like this little restaurant bar thing, and they have one of their company little Christmas party get-together things at this bar she works at. So she's there hanging out with her boss, like who's in charge of her internship and whatnot. The boss's ex, who is a musician singer, is there to entertain for the night, and he feels super awkward because his ex is there, who like broke his heart and whatnot, and Olive takes it upon herself to make him feel less awkward, and she just straight up kisses him. She just starts making out with her boss in front of his ex in the middle of this company Christmas party, and he was like, what the heck? And she was like, hey man, I was helping. Another bah humbug. She loves Christmas, he hates Christmas. Overlying theme of most Christmas books. The boss is like, well, what the heck, what are we gonna do now? So she kind of starts fake dating him and declares herself Santa's little helper and tries to make him fall in love. She like takes him on sleigh rides and makes him participate in snow days and all of these Christmassy things that she thinks is just going to make him more appealing for his ex, to maybe even get the ex back. And then of course feelings devolve between the two of them. So if you want more of a workplace romance fake dating Christmas vibe, this is it. This is 330 pages, so it's like a fairly normal sized book, so I definitely think there's a lot more character and like plot development than some of the other Christmas books. If you're interested, check it out. So then last but not least, I have The Mistletoe Problem by Anna Barlow. This follows our main characters, Elle and Nick. Elle is a struggling actress, Nick is a corporate lawyer. Elle gets this gig being an elf for a little like kids Santa giveaway holiday thing. So she's playing an elf, bumps into Nick as he's walking through the building to go to his corporate job, and she knocks all the papers out of his hand. They get into a little tiff about, oh, you're being rude, oh, blah, blah, blah. They start off not liking each other. Elle then gets a gig to be the director of a children's Christmas play at this town called Mistletoe Valley, which is super cringy, but she gets a job being the director for a kid's Christmas play. So she goes out to Mistletoe Valley, stays with this other retired actress who is like in charge of the arts program for the kids, works with her, stays there, starts doing this Christmas play, only to realize that Nick is this woman's godson, and he comes back into town to spend holidays with his family. So they see each other again. So it's a little bit more of an enemies to lovers, but the enemies part really doesn't last that long. Elle is there to do this acting thing, and Nick is there to see his family, but he's also trying to decide if he wants to go back to the city and continue his corporate job there, or if he wants to open up his own branch in his hometown, because he's not really a fan of the city and kind of misses being home around the people that he considers family. Elle is in a little bit of the same boat. She is trying to decide if acting is really what she wants to do with her life, because it's not really like going the way that she wants it, but she's also thinking, even if it is going the way I want it, do I really enjoy it? Like, she's really on a path of trying to find out who she is as a person, other than and outside of acting. It does have good smut. On the Goodreads overview of it, it literally says at the bottom, please note, this book contains explicit content. It is not intended for anyone under 18 years of age. Trust me, I've read worse smut than this, but it has good smut. So if you want a little bit more enemies to lovers vibe, big bad lawyer stuff, because I love me a good lawyer book, I definitely suggest this one. But yeah, those are some of my Christmas holiday vibe book recommendations. If you want some new ones for the season, hopefully I gave you guys some new ones, some ones that you were interested in. I've been kept company by Atlas for this whole video. He's been laying here helping. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you guys some new recommendations. Whether you celebrate Christmas or any other holiday of your choice or nothing at all, I hope you have a dandy old time doing whatever it is you do. I love and appreciate you so, so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. If you want to follow me anywhere on my social medias, they are down below and on my end card screen. Also down below is my Amazon wishlist if you want to send me any books that are on there or send me any of your favorite books. I'd greatly greatly appreciate it, and I do some unboxings for you. Down below is also my PangoBooks. If you want to buy mine or other people's used books, it's a good way of getting any sort of books for your bookish friends at a cheaper price than going to Barnes & Noble or Amazon. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and Addie. Thank you for hanging out with me and Addie. We love and appreciate you so much. Please stay safe, have a good holiday season, and I will see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye.